Welcome in everybody to ZB's Horsepower Talk. As always, I'm ZB Zach Brown. And joining with me, as always, is former 410 Sprint Car crew chief mechanic, my dad, Jeff Brown. The championship has been settled in NASCAR, and all I've got to just show off is, well, I got to get a new hat now. But Larson has won the championship for NASCAR. His second championship. What a dramatic scene Phoenix was. A lot to talk about. A lot to talk about in the truck race. A lot to talk about Xfinity. Cup. We're going to talk about Cup right now. Make sure you guys like, subscribe anywhere you get your podcasts and Facebooks exclusively on Spotify and YouTube. Check all of that stuff out on social media platforms. Yeah, that was fun. That was quite fun. That was so if you're a Larson fan like we are, we had a good time. That was
Yeah.
good. Uh really crazy race, and it's not the first one that's been crazy. This is another one that Larson kind of won on pit road again. This is
Yeah. But
his
both his championships was a pit road.
yep. And so for people that didn't see it, Denny Hamlin dominated the race. I mean, he was an absolute rocket ship, had the fastest car, and had it won. I mean, there was three to go,
Yeah.
and then people could say what they want. William Byron, Larson's teammate, and Byron was running second, but
Yeah.
Byron blows a tire, and tires were a huge issue here for a lot
Yeah.
of teams.
Everybody had, even Hamlin had an issue. His happened to go down right as they were coming into pit road. So no harm, no foul on that one,
Yeah,
but a lot of tire issues.
yeah, and I mean that's pretty much the last shot Denny has to win a championship because it just looks like it's just not meant to be.
Uh, you know,
Well, he's only got
his,
a year or two left, so he
yeah,
already
I mean,
knows.
shoot, he was still one of the fastest cars throughout the year, had the most wins of anybody. It's just his luck in that whole thing. And according to Facebook, it was rigged that Byron's tire blew.
No, no. So
I'm like, if they could somehow do that, it wasn't going to be William Byron on blow a tire. It'd probably
no,
been Alex Bowman.
no. Byron was the one running second. He had the shot to win.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
People are just
and it was
crazy.
so what Denny Hamlin did is what happened with the truck race on Friday. Used the same strategy as what they did. Corey
I
Heim.
thought it was the right call
Um, well, here's the
at
thing.
the time.
When it restarted, Denny Denny could have just sent it in on turns one and two, and he just never sent it.
Well, it looked
And
like Joey Logano kind of came down sort of in his line, and just he wasn't able to. I thought Larson took the wrong line. I thought the inside would have been better. And I thought the four tire stop at Denny's was smart. That's why we have a podcast, and those guys are sitting on top of the pit boxes.
well, I think with Larson being on the outside, he chose that because that's where the leader was restarting, and the leader would have
Yeah,
to start. He would have
yeah.
the
His
most
plan was to
momentum.
balls it on in there
Yeah,
as it's
and he
going on.
did.
Yeah,
And he stuck it to the outside, and two tires were just enough. And I mean, Larson was driving the living hell out of that thing for the last two laps, and then he just got caught with in between a couple people, and it was too little, too late, not enough to make up any ground.
yeah,
Then he had the fastest short run car, and shoot, at the end, he had the fastest long run car. That car was just they had it perfect. And there is a side of me that feels bad for Denny, mainly because his dad won't likely get to see him win a championship because his dad's just really super sick, and then there's that side of it. And I know they're going through a lot, so obviously thoughts with them, but. Uh, yeah, Larson stealing that championship kind of stole both championship. But if you look at the point standings for the entire year, Larson would have won the championship in the old point system.
yep.
So
By like 14 points. I thought it was over Christopher Bell. Last I see him was William Byron.
yeah, it would
Now
have
you
been
go to the old Winston Cup points. It was Christopher Bell that would have won it.
yeah. So it's I don't know, but so that's the discussion right now. We'll
Yeah,
we'll we'll, we'll talk in a
yeah. We'll
second.
get in. We'll get into that here in a second.
The talking about the truck race, what it kind of aforementioned earlier, the Corey Heim pitting and everybody else choosing two tires and Corey Heim
Yeah,
choosing
and he
four tires.
restarted like 10th
Here's
or 11th.
here's the difference. Corey Heim was already several seconds faster than the entire field,
Yeah,
and he's just got so much more talent than everybody. He passed everybody on the first corner. It
yeah. It
wasn't
took
even
it
fair.
seven wide.
Yeah, and he balls it in. I mean, it's what he had to do. There's Did he get a cup ride next year? I feel like he did. Either that or a full-time
He
Xfinity.
needs some Xfinity or
He's too
something. I
he's
mean,
he's too good to stay in the trucks. That's just he was just whipping
see,
everybody in the
I mean, I know he's a Toyota driver, but man, if I was Dodge, I'd be trying to snatch a young kid like that up.
well, Dodge I think's got their team filled, and I think it needs to when Dodge goes to the Cup Series. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
what I mean. That's
possibility.
I'd be like, hey, we're going to be calling you
I
because
mean, impressive year. I think it was 12 wins on the year. I mean, and trucks race 20 something,
yeah,
not
they
a
don't race
lot.
near as much.
I mean, he won like every other week. It was kind of insane.
So
One,
the championship NASCAR that one was correct. Yeah, Corey
yes,
Heim deserved to win the
the
championship,
net
and he
and
did.
the Cup Series. I'll tell you right now.
With the points the way it is, yeah,
Besides Chase Briscoe, I think any of the other three for anybody would could be like, no, they all deserve to win the
and
championship
you know
because
what? I don't know. Chase Briscoe had what, 3 wins? I mean,
yeah.
the four that were in for Cup, anyone you can make the argument that they deserve the championship
Well,
for
here's the
sure.
one that a lot of people are mad about, and
Yeah.
it's Jesse Love, which awesome for Jesse. Jesse winning the
Yep.
championship,
I mean, he won the
but
race and did what he had to
he,
do.
Connor Zillage dominated I mean, absolutely dominated the year, rookie of the
Yeah.
year. I mean, by far, that's his only chance he's ever going to get at least in the foreseeable future because he's going to the Cup. So this was like his one and done chance
Yeah.
to do it. And who knows down the road if he'll ever get that opportunity. But now he's going to go to Cup
Probably
Series.
not full time again, I
Um,
wouldn't think.
and the only thing he would do is if he ever bumped down 20 years from now or something. I mean, heartbroken. He was the best, but I
Yeah.
mean, he's really good friends with Jesse, so I know he's happy for him. But that was tough for him. I mean, he was the best car of the entire year. I mean, it wasn't even fair. The only
Yeah.
one that you could argue was just as good as him was Justin Allgaier. He had a lot of good races too, but I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
even fair how good Connor
Yeah.
was.
Zilich had more wins than Jesse Love had top fives. So
Yeah,
that's
but I mean, it's the way this format
and
is.
yeah, and if you went by the old points, Connor Zilich would have won by 300 and some. He would have had it locked up a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So this is the
So
talk.
that one NASCAR got wrong
This
for
is the
sure.
talk of everything now, and um, basically NASCAR's looking at it too. It's not going to be the same next year. They already decided that. It's
Yeah.
something's going to change. They don't know what. So there's a couple things you can reason with. You want to go back to the 10 race final race format where you that you everything restarts kind of like NHRA does how many drivers whatever it needs to be and they race and wins don't guarantee you to be in
Yeah.
just like Denny made a point. What if Cody Ware won at Daytona or something and knocks Tyler Reddick or one of these got Alex Bowman, any of those guys out of the contention for it just because he won a plate race where it's not.
Yeah. Well, and we can make that argument with SVG winning road courses.
Yeah, but
He can't.
SVG did it a lot. He did.
Yeah, I mean, but it's his first one. Be like all of a sudden he's locked in. It's like
Oh, we already and we talked
after five. Yeah, I mean he deserved to be in for sure.
after winning multiple of them. They eventually, I was like, okay, yeah, he kind of deserves to be in.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know what NASCAR needs to do. I don't know what the solution is.
yeah.
I'm all
I
for
don't
it.
remember the really the. I mean, I remember they reset the points.
It was
Like they
very
reset
similar what
like
the countdown is for NHRAs.
yeah. I mean
Um,
that would I think would be better.
I,
But you
I
know what? Mission accomplished. That was a freaking exciting ass race. And I mean, 2 laps to go. We're like, yeah, okay, restart. And we jumped up and were screaming and punching the air and the whole deal. When Larson,
Now if that was now, but if that was Larson that was leading and it brought the caution and Denny won, we'd be pissed.
oh yeah,
So
pissed,
that
upset, disappointed, upset.
I don't think an entire season for an entire championship needs to be decided with
I
one
agree.
race. And they've done their best to reward winning, and they've rewarded winning on a basis of that you're instantly in the postseason, and then basically nothing else matters.
Yeah, but like you
That's
said,
not the
you
way to
get these
go.
guys that can randomly win Daytona and have zero shot at winning anything else.
I I think the only way to fix it and is it can it be boring? Yeah, but I think this day and age, it can be a lot more exciting because everything's so close together. Go back to the old Winston Cup format, and you
See
saw.
now, the Winston Cup, they actually did not reward any
I
for
I
winning, really.
no,
So
I'm aware of
the
that.
full season where you got, I don't know, a few extra points for winning,
Well,
I think
well, what
is the way to
it's
go.
that format, but you get more points. It's a more point spread from first to second from winning. So you have significant amount more than the second place person. So it wouldn't be like I think you can have maximum like 52 or something. Right now, I don't really know what it is, but then second place it says like 40 something. Make that gap a lot bigger. Make it a 50-point difference or something significant where
Where
that
yeah, where
win.
you could actually make up some ground.
Exactly. So, and you consistently do that, you build on that championship and you do it the entire year.
Well,
I
let me throw this out. Like a few times throughout the year, NHRA has 1.5 points races per round. Maybe take the crown jewel races, make them extra point paying races. Just
That could be it.
that way. Say you're 200 points behind. You go to Indy, it's double points or whatever, and all of a sudden you have a good run at Indy. Well, shit, we're right. All of a sudden you're right there. I
And
just
let's
just spitballing.
and let's get rid
Because
of
I'm
this.
sure NASCAR's watching our podcast, probably thinking that's a real good idea.
Well, let's get rid of the damn stages. That's you. It need
I got mixed
there need to
feelings on
be
that.
there need to be cautions, but
They need to have random cautions where nobody knows when they're coming out.
yeah, that's fine. And it needs to be decided not by a human. It needs to be a program, and
Yeah,
you don't need a flagman to do it. Everything's digital anymore. Flagman's more of a ceremonial type position right now, anyways. But the flagman will know, hey, 2 laps until caution or something will come into his ear because the program's telling him that or something. Everything's digital anymore, anyways.
yeah,
And then automatically the program says, all right, this lap, caution.
yeah.
And
They can have it be like, all right, we've already had cautions. We don't need to add
there's AI
a
is
random.
AI has made so
AI
many
could do it
advancements.
pretty easily, I would think.
AI's made a lot of advancements. It would be able to figure out its own program pretty dang quick.
Because I mean the cautions, because you know how it's going to get. It's like we had those stage races. You get every now and then you get those guys that just hit the setup. They're going to be winning by 13, 14
Yeah.
seconds. I mean, it's just
Yeah, and restarts are really critical in
yeah,
these races. But no, I don't think an entire championship needs to be decided by one single race or even the last couple races. That
yeah,
doesn't that shouldn't play a factor into it. I'm all for them celebrating the end of the year like the Outlaws are doing this week. The championship's over, but they still have the World Finals every single year. Start making a tradition where you have the NASCAR finale and make it a huge weekend. You can still have all that just glitz and glamour like you did for the championship race. Just call it the NASCAR finale and just bring
yeah. Make
people
it a
out. And
maybe make it a non-point race or
no, make it a
almost like
point
an
race.
all-star race.
No,
Or
still make it a point race just in case the championship came down to that. But still, I I'm all for that. I I that's the only way I think you can solve it. I think you integrate a little bit of everything. I don't you don't just reward wins to instantly be racing for a championship. That's
yeah,
wrong. You have to be based on consistency, one of the faster cars throughout the year. I don't even think there should be a cutoff. I think you just have at it and you better figure it out.
yeah,
Suck it up because every other racing series does that. Every single one does. World of Outlaws does it. They've done it since the beginning of time. I'm all for the bonus ones. I think that is a nice integration that they could do for crown jewel races, make them even more significant. And shoot, even add
but if
extra.
we took the regular season point title now, like I said, Larson wins by 14. I think the top 4 or 5 were within 50 points or something like that. If you
Yeah,
played so I mean that one would have been close. The
yeah.
Xfinity, it was over a month ago.
And NASCAR was thinking they were not having good ratings or whatever it was, and they were under a false illusion that they needed to change it.
It's because they're not on network
grandstands were
TV.
still grandstands were still packed, and you still got to you still would sell it with your media team, make it exciting. I mean, that's what you do. That's it's a job to make it exciting, and I I mean I think that's what you can do. I keep the damn trophy the same though because that trophy is
That
bad.
trophy's badass.
That's I mean it's bigger than Larson, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well,
Um, I do like them having the championship banquet right after, like literally that Monday night. I like it being in the same area for whatever city it needs to be. So they because the drivers are ready to go on vacation. They're done. They're over this whole entire thing.
yeah,
But you got to host it and host the finale in different cities every couple years, change it up. Homestead is a great one to have for a couple years. It's a party
yeah.
city. So I'm still all for Vegas being a final race. That's a great city to
Yeah,
host
I
events.
mean, Charlotte would be a good place for it.
Charlotte, if they, well, they're going back to the Roval next year, and then that's one thing they
I
need to
know.
get their minds out and just figure that stuff out because nobody wants to see the Roval anymore. We're done with the Roval. Um, but there's gonna be a massive change. NASCAR already said it. They don't know what it's gonna be, but I think they're gonna meet with the drivers, crews, owners, and see what the best option is gonna be. Um, they've been talking to Junior. Junior has a lot of good insight to add. So if you integrate a little bit of everything, I think you could make it work and make it pretty exciting. I think
Yeah,
what we just
and it's not going to
integrated.
please everybody. That's where you gotta.
I'm all for like make the crown jewels feel a lot more important, and then you give
Yeah,
more points for that for the win. You get a
NASCAR's gotta be like, okay, try something, and if it don't work, just be like, hey,
well
we
they've
tried
done
it,
this
didn't work, we're going to try something else.
well they've done this
It's
for so many years, and you have one of the best drivers, Christopher Bell, who's been so good year in and year out, consistently great, and he falls short. Denny Hamlin, he would have a championship or two under an old format, as good as he's been, and it just comes down to one race, and I mean literally a blown tire costed a race,
yeah,
that costed a championship. So I mean, I think that's what you can go with. Still, it was still exciting. I'm not going to take that away from the race. It still was really exciting. The battles for there was no battle for the lead. Really, Denny had it in the bag, but
yeah.
and let's not take away that Ryan Blaney won that freaking race out of nowhere.
Right. I was
He
going
was
to say,
flying, and that's why I said you do not want a Ford at Phoenix because the Fords were going to win at Phoenix. I was wrong saying I thought a championship driver would win just based on just history, but that's the second time it's happened that a non-championship driver's won that. Um, but that's why you don't want Ford at Phoenix. Now it comes to Homestead, and now you don't want Hendrick or Toyota in the finale.
right. Yeah, you don't want Larson or probably Reddick, and well, you can't count on Hamlin because he can run the wall like
Yeah,
no other
it just all
typically.
depends on what the format is next year. I'm excited to see what they're going to do, um, and make it across all the series too, and just try it. And if it doesn't work, go to something else. But give it a couple years. Don't give it just 1 year and wait.
Yeah.
Done. Give it a year, two, maybe 3 years, and give that a shot. Um, I think I'm done with the NASCAR ranting and talking. Um, Larson's wife shotgunned a beer again, so that was cool.
Yep.
Uh,
It was really cool. He had all three of his kids in the car driving the victory lane where Owen's holding the
yep,
little one that name's Cooper and
yep.
actually gave him a kiss and they showed that was cute. You know.
And well, two of them made it to the banquet. I assume the little one was not gonna stay still for the banquet. Um, and Larson's got now he's gonna be off season watching the kids race. Now both of them race. His son Owen's gonna race a lot more this off season. I think he'll do some stuff indoors and things. I don't know how much stuff his daughter can do because Millbridge I
Yeah,
think's
well,
done for the
they
year.
race a lot in Millbridge. I don't know if they really ever shut down or not.
I think they do in the winter, just when it's cold, like Pennsylvania does. But yeah, I mean, she won at Millbridge, and I mean,
I know.
Owen wins a lot of places. NASCAR in the future is in good hands. I mean, you got Keelan, who's a fantastic late model driver. He's going to be really good. He's only 13.
Yeah,
And Owen, and then Braxton. There's some. They're going to be good.
yeah,
I think that does it for NASCAR. Anything you want to add before we finish up our this is it for
no, I don't
NASCAR
think so.
talk.
That was interesting. It's hard to believe 36 are gone already. It just seems like we were just
It
talking about
goes
the
by
Daytona
fast and it's
500.
also long. It is long. It's a long.
Right. Yeah, it's like we were talking about like it's like all right, it's starting to get a little boring, and then but yeah,
Well,
we get towards the end of the year, I do catch myself watching more football than I do
yeah.
NASCAR.
Well, luckily this worked out that the Eagles were off
Yeah.
this week. They had a bye week, and it was a championship with our favorite driver racing, so we definitely paid attention to that.
So for us, it was a good year. Eagles win the Super Bowl. Larson wins the championship.
Yeah, Philly suck.
Yeah,
It's
well,
great. Yeah,
can't
that's for
have it
everything.
all.
Um, Now going into real quick, touching on NHRA, I brought up the point standings. I just looked at them. Don't look now. Motorcycle has gotten good,
Yeah, everything else is
pretty
pretty
much done.
wrapped up, but
It's been consistently, unless there's some catastrophic things that happen.
this
It's
last race
good.
is points and a half. So
Yeah, well, yeah. So
and the
if Coletta, Proc, and
Dallas Glenn.
Dallas Glenn win a round, pretty much safe. That's pretty much all they really need to do to wrap it up. Gage Herrera is only 21 points behind, and it was what last week or the week before he was over 100 points. So he is coming.
Yeah, so that's one round further, it's over.
Yeah,
Because
it's
it,
it's
what it
gonna
would normally be regular points would make it real interesting. One round is 20 points. Now it's 30.
yeah. Well, basically, if Herrera wins, he wins the championship. That's what it comes down to. So, and he's racing his teammate, and that's going to be pretty good. That's Pomona's next week. Um, and NHRA's they've done a good job with this countdown, and um I think their format's good. How they do it, I don't know how you can really shift some things up. I think that entertains people more to tune into that. It's not a complete reset. That's kind of like I said, it was like what the original chase for the cup was for NASCAR. That's what they kind of implemented into NHRA, and they added some different variables into it to make it pretty exciting. And I mean, NHRA's done great, but I mean, you just can't deny that at the beginning of the year we had no idea who could win, but then the consistency of Coletta
Yeah.
and well, Proc doesn't shock me. It doesn't shock me at all. I'm kind of surprised that Coletta's doing this well again. I mean, usually when you win a championship for the first time ever, you generally see a decline that year. Shoot, he's going back to back. Why
But
not?
he raced 20 years before he finally got a championship. It's not like, you're early in your career and maybe have a slump after where he's,
Uh,
seasoned vet. Plus, for top fuel, he's probably got the one of the greatest crew chiefs at Alan Johnson on that one.
yeah.
So
So that but they're in
and
Pomona
and
next.
Doug Coletta, former sprint car guy, and he just seems like he's a good guy, very appreciative.
Oh yeah. Well, at Pomona will be next week. We'll preview the NHRA finale while we talk about what's happening actually right now in Charlotte.
Yeah,
The first race they have three
I
four
think
days.
is it
They
just
count.
qualifying tonight, or they actually
Yeah,
have
it's a
a
qualifying night to set up the heats for tomorrow, I believe.
okay?
And either that or the heats are tonight sets up a feature for tomorrow. It's not a full actual race tonight. Um, World of Outlaws World Finals at Charlotte. I mean, this is tradition. Uh, if you've never been to the Charlotte dirt track, it's dirty. It's very dirty. It's very, very
It's
dirty.
a
It
but
gets
you know what? To be
really
fair,
dusty.
they have the sprint cars, they have the World Outlaws late models, and then the super dirt big block modified.
And
There's 1,000 freaking race cars there.
they race there's some it's a world short track championships the week before, so they just had that this past weekend, so tons of now the with the rain last week that put a lot of moisture into the track. We have not had rain this week, so by Saturday that track is going to be super
Yeah.
slick. There won't be a lot of passing. It's just how Charlotte is set up. But I always say it, everybody's going to be against the wall. If there's that one person that can run the bottom, they have the best chance to win that.
And you know what? Dale Blaney has a real good the way he can run the bottom and the way he's got such a unique car compared to everybody else. Would not shock me when that track gets at least till it gets slick to where it really starts getting rubber down, then it's going to be follow the
Well,
leader.
I think this track generally races similar to Sharon Speedway. It gets really slick. It's not very high banked. Um, the the outside's preferred, but if again with Sharon, if it's slick as it gets, Dale does it. He runs the bottom like as good as anybody.
Yeah.
Um, the first couple days you'll see better racing. It's just generally what you see, and
Yeah. Right
then
now, I watched the qualifying. The track was in pretty good shape.
the track's gonna look good now. You give it
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday is when it starts falling off really bad. It's not gonna be too dusty tonight. It gets very dusty as the week goes. The temperature's going to change dramatically from today to Saturday, though. Like today was in the 70s. It's going to get colder, and by next week it's going to be in the 40s here. So we were like progressing towards that. It's North Carolina weather, so you can't predict any of that stuff. It's a cool tradition. I like it being there. I would love a whole championship motorsports championship weekend in Charlotte. We've talked about that before. That would be really awesome. ZMAX. I mean, NHRA is never going to go away from Pomona as their finale race.
No.
That's never going to happen. But just to think about how cool that would be with ZMAX at least one week and then dirt race, Cup Series, all that stuff in like multiple weeks and have like motorsports month or something, championship month here.
Yeah.
Um, I the championship settled unless something crazy happens to David Grell when he just doesn't show up to the track. He's 138 points ahead of Buddy Kofoid. Buddy Kofoid, I mean, valiant effort this year. But gravel winning so many races in the summertime, that's just what separated. And that's what
Yeah.
gets everybody every year. It's how you race in the
And like
summer.
I said, we talked about it all year. Even when gravel has trouble, they somehow get that freaking car fixed and he comes out and at least salvages,
Well,
a top 10 or
I
12.
think he
It's
had
unbelievable.
well, I think he maybe had one or two DNFs. It was in the
Not but not very often. I mean,
I
it
think
better
well,
be
what
a
happened recently, like at in the Pennsylvania run that they had, there was I think Lincoln he might have not finished or
yeah,
Lincoln one
did
of
he
the
flip
tracks
it or something? I forget. Yeah, it's
or BAPS, I'm not sure. But I mean, here's gravel stats for this year. There's 65 starts, mind you. He has 16 wins, which is it was fine, whatever. 54 top fives.
yeah.
62 top tens. There's three races he had that weren't top tens. Everything else has been at least a top 10. That is
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
That
it's
is the
probably three
definition of
DNFs.
that's a definition of consistency. I didn't realize he's from Connecticut. I just saw that.
Yeah.
Um, and but Buddy Kofoid, 11 wins. Carson Macedo, 11 wins. But Buddy, the thing that sets him all apart from Carson is that he had a lot of top fives. He had 42 top fives, 56 top tens. It was that summer run though. Buddy Kofoid had a little bit of a down summer compared to
Yep.
David Gravel, and that's what else sets off everybody. That's how it goes. It's how we talk about it each and every year. April to May, we're like, all right, it's going to get heating up. Quite literally, it's going to get. This is this is the moneymaker. Is the summertime.
Yeah, a lot of race happen, April through August. I mean, there's a lot of running going on. No downtime. So yeah, that's when you really gotta have your A game for sure.
Well, I'm not going to pick a winner for the World Finals. I'm curious to see how our guest on this from a few weeks ago, Ryan Timms, does. The 69K is there with Ryan Smith. You mentioned Dale Blaney's there.
Yeah.
A lot of drivers come to this because it's
Surprisingly, Macri was not there.
yeah,
The 69K is the only Pennsylvania car that came down other than Brent Marks, which
uh, that's surprising. I thought like Lance maybe would come down because I mean they've had a pretty good
it
year.
don't surprise me with Lance, but
Well, Lance
you
comes
think
down.
Macri,
Well,
probably Dietrich.
Lance comes down this way a lot because of Millbridge with his son. They
True.
race there, and that car's had a really good year. I thought they would at least give it a shot. Yeah, but a lot of cars are entered for that. It's pretty cool. If anybody ever gets a chance, go check out Charlotte. It's a pretty cool little dirt track, and um, it doesn't feel quite like a normal dirt track just because it's actually in the center of everything. There's a giant NASCAR track across the
Yeah.
street from it, so it's a little different because usually all these other tracks are in Podunk, Kentucky. I mean, there's the middle of nowhere, just slab it in the middle of a farm field. It's a little different with this one. But
Yeah.
I think that's all. Uh,
Do we want to talk about our fantasy season?
Not really. So NASCAR fantasy, if you followed along, just to wrap it up, obviously we're not picking any picks this week. Um, I choked hard. That's basically the moral of that story. I won, I guess, the regular season, but that's not how it settles. It was the overall standings. So mom won the overall standings by a couple points over you, but you won the playoffs, so that technically that's
Yeah.
a championship. So
Yeah,
you
because I was
win.
almost 200 points behind, and all of a sudden my drivers decided, hey, we're not going to crash every week.
And mine did what yours usually do. And you just consistently just knocked off wins. I'm like, God, can't do anything. It was shit. And Talladega screwed me over.
Well,
Uh,
that's how my day. If I had one guy that didn't crash in Daytona 500, I might have won that point thing. I had like 42 points the first race of the year or something stupid. It's like, are
yeah,
you
well, that's kind of
kidding
how
me?
I finished the year.
Yeah.
Well, we all actually had pretty good finish at Phoenix. We all generally had a decent,
Yeah, it was close actually.
but yep. I mean, I'll put it on
That was
the.
fun though.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do it again next year for bragging rights. It's more fun to do bragging rights. So, if anybody wants to join along, comment below. We can add you to it too and kind of play
Yeah,
along
it'd be
with
cool to
us.
have a couple of extra people. It's not go crazy have a big thing, but
No, we do it more
four,
for we
five,
do it
six
for
people would be fun.
do it for bragging rights. So if you want to join in the NASCAR fantasy, comment below and um, DM me for the details to get into the league, and we'll add you for next year. That does it for this week. We will hop into NHRA Championship talk next week and talk about what happened at the World Finals. Preparing for a potential live season finale, like we've been doing every season, and possibly having some guests come on for that. We just got to figure out what the scheduling will be and who we might have on. So stay tuned for all that. Make sure you guys follow, subscribe, and like everywhere, all that fun stuff. Yep. And we'll see you guys next week.
All right, bye everybody.